Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Sex attraction versus relationship attraction. And well, first I got to shout out an associate, Amadi. She did a webinar with one of my private groups a few weeks ago by the time this comes out. And that subject had come up, the sexual attraction versus relationship attraction. And I think it's an important point that we don't talk about enough, especially in these spaces. And I know it's something, I haven't used those terms, but I mean, I've brought it up, the relationship attraction part, when I talk about, similar values, class level, religion, even race, similar stuff. Those are more relationship things. Whereas the sex thing is more just pure lust. Now, there are two different things, because I think what I'm seeing, and a lot of times people aren't seeing both sides of it. See, a woman, understand, will look at a man and she's categorizing him. She's already put him in a category. She's saying, oh, okay, she could have sex with him. I've talked about this before. She can have sex with him. But then she might see another man say, oh, well, he'll make a good boyfriend. Then a third man, it's like, oh, okay, he can be a buddy or something. And I'm gonna get into that tomorrow. And then that fourth one, like, ooh, she crossing the street and stuff. Now, if we focus on the first two main ones, the sexual attraction and versus relationship attraction, here's what the deal is. The sexual attraction, that's more the pure lust. You have the guys who focus on, the looks. And even though I've always said it's never just looks, that does play a part. The looks, and then the look. The look is like, okay, how's he dressed and everything? What's his drip like? How's his haircut, his grooming and all of that? And then just the pure physical looks, the pure physical. And when I say looks, let's just be real. It's not just the face, but the body and everything. Indeed, like my main thing is talking about the attraction part when I talk about body game. I mean, even though some men try to fight against it or try to say, oh, it ain't that important, it works. It's part of the thing women looking at. Let's just be real with it. And yes, they checking out the face, they checking out the height, all of that stuff, that physical stuff. Can he get it? And I've talked about this before. I'm gonna put a link in the description box for a video where I talked about that, where women will look at a guy and say, can he get it? And they'll be like, yeah, he can get it or not. That's pure sexual attraction. That works strongest when a woman's in a situation like, I don't know, she's on vacation somewhere, or she's at a club for the younger ones. The older ones, they on that girls trip or something. Or it could be in the office, something like that. Those are guys they just want to deal with for sex. That's all. That's their sole purpose. They ain't thinking about a relationship with them. And that's cool. Let's just be real with it. If a woman look at you and say, hey, you can get it, hey, all you had to do is figure out how to make it happen. But it's not the same as a relationship attraction. Now, I know, of course, somebody would say, well, they have sex in relationships, but hold up. Yes, that's a part of it, but when a woman is getting into a relationship, a whole lot more comes into it. Hence, and this is something that's discussed a lot. A lot of guys are trying to figure out, well, why is that woman with that guy? He don't look all that good. Even though I say men shouldn't be judging other men like that. Or they'll say, well, he ain't this, he ain't that. They try to say, well, he don't look like that other guy. Well, yeah, the woman checking out that other guy, who look like, that handsome dude, that ASP, that fitness model or something. She's thinking just sex. But when a woman's looking at a relationship, there's more factors that come in. There are more factors that come in. That's the key. So the type of guy she look at just for sex will look totally different from the guy she look at for a relationship. Now, young women especially in college, something like that, they're gonna focus more on the sex part. They wanna just have their fun. But that's why if you look at a lot of women when they get older, the type of guy that they end up marrying and honestly genuinely loving, don't look the same. You'd be like, you got with him? But they ain't seeing the other stuff. They probably have a similar value system. They might go to the same church or synagogue, temple, circle in the woods, you know? They're probably the same social class. They got the same values and everything. They got the same ideas on money. They both have a wealth consciousness. They both have like similar plans. Like both of them are business people, entrepreneurial, and their businesses are related. In fact, I've met a lot of couples, they go into business together. That's a relationship. That's very important. So in those situations, a woman, she might, you know what? Like, okay, if we use that number system, the guy she sleep with might need to be a 9. And I'm saying hypothetical, not just, because women are different. The guy she just want to have for sex, let's just say he's a 9. All right, she checking out all those 9s and stuff. And a lot of guys focus on it. But then for the relationship, on just a pure physical level, the guy might be a 6. But the woman's just as happy. Why? Because of the other stuff. They can relate. They can talk with each other. They can laugh. They have a similar money philosophy. If they get married, they have a similar philosophy, values for raising their children, where to live, what foods to eat. Like you have a growing vegan population. Okay, if you got the man, you know what? He don't look like that 9 she's used to dealing with. But he loved those tofu buffalo wings. he loved those, he loved like that rice, all that stuff that vegans be eating and stuff. She loves it. Boom. Relate. Relate. They got a similar money philosophy. They want to live in the same type of lifestyle. Relate. And that's the key thing. They're not the same type of attraction. Now, if of course, the sex is in there, but it might not be the same level. Like say on a scale from 1 to 10, she sleeps with the sex guy because his sex level is 9. But the other guy might not be as sexy, but he's decent in bed, but he's bringing all the other stuff. She can relate to him. She can walk around with him in public and stuff. They go to eat at the same restaurants. And see, that's the important thing. It's the important thing, that whole social aspect. Because one thing that's very important to women is relating to a man. Women need men. Women need men. Actually, I'm gonna be real with you. It's easier, even though men need women, it's easier for a man to go without a woman because our nature is to go out and hunt and all of that anyway. It's easier for a man to be by themselves. Not so much for women. So they still want to relate. And indeed, that's why you do get some situations. You do get that dual mating strategy sometimes. Now, some people think it's just because of the money, but no, they actually relate to the guy. They love the guy, but then they lust the other guy because it's 2 different attractions. And indeed, one of the things I found in 20 years of doing this, like I said, at first, the main men who were buying my books were the Mr. Goodbar types. They had the sexual attraction down packed, but then when they wanted relationships, it never failed. They always had problems. When they want to just say, hey, they want a woman for more than just sex. Because trust me, if a guy gets enough sex, he's been with enough women, all of a sudden he gets older, he wants to build something, he wants a legacy. Oh, he's starting to look at the women different. But see, the women, they still looking at him just sex, and as long as he keeps it there, he's good. But the second he say, hey, when we go out and stuff, she's like, then she'll get with some lesser guy, and then they say, why would she get with him? They click. They click. It's a major thing. It's a major thing, and it's something that needs to be talked about more. It needs to be talked about. Like you get a lot of guys, like they'll talk about, well, why she with him? He ain't this, he ain't that. They probably click. In fact, you get some guys, because I'm gonna tell you what, let's just be real. You get some guys, they ain't getting the sexual attraction, but they haven't developed themselves to the point where a woman wants to truly relate to them. Because that's not so much the physical part right there. That's more the personality and everything. So they ain't getting either one. So they think, well, they don't understand why that woman might like that guy. It's like, they probably just click personality-wise. That's it, and that's more of a relationship thing. And let me be clear on even the relationship part. He still needs some level of sex appeal. That's one thing about you still need some level of sex appeal, because you get a lot of times a woman to meet that guy they click with totally, but she just can't, she don't have that minimum, he doesn't have that minimum level of sex appeal that a woman would need to get turned on. Like, let me be clear on it. Even though a woman, yeah, definitely go for a 9 or a 10 and stuff, they have a basement as well, as long as the man's bringing other stuff. And they'll balance it out when it's a relationship thing. And when they can't, they still might deal with the dude and, still deal with that other guy. And the whole dual mating thing that's a real thing to talk about. Indeed, you have some women who like embracing polyamory and everything because they have a good man relationship wise, but they just want another man. They just want another man and stuff. The man doing everything, but for whatever reason, they got that lust for someone else. So, but it's something to consider, because if we're going to talk about relationships, we got to start breaking it down. Like I said, if a guy, when you see a woman with that guy, you're like, why is she with him? He ain't all that. It's a relationship thing. It's a relationship thing. And of course, on the sexual side, it's basically the physicality, it's the mindset and everything. The physicality play a big part. And I mean overall physicality. A woman got to physically want to sleep with the guy. So that plays a part in everything. Now, if a woman can get them both in the same package, honestly, that's really what women want. They want them both in the same package. It's just tough to do so. Just like a man wants a lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets. Women the same way. But anyway, for now though, that sex attraction versus relationship attraction is a major deal out here. All right. So anyway, that's all I have for today. Get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.